My name is Adel Chavalet. I'm president of TimeGate Studios, and I run the show.
My name is Philip Morales. As creative lead, it's my job to work with the team and make sure they have a very clear vision of what we're doing as a whole.
I'm Robert Shivyak, and I'm the producer on Section 8. Shivyak, like sugar. My job is to make sure that the team is staying on focus, that we're reaching towards our target of having a badass game coming out in a couple of years.
The company was founded because we had a concept for a game that was so innovative and so fresh that we just had to go there. And so we started putting some passionate people together, started developing a product, and a couple years down the road, a couple $1 million later, it was RTS Game of the Year. And it wasn't that we decided we wanted to move into FPS genre and say, okay, well, what are we going to make? It was more about the concept saying, hey, you're going here, and it was without a doubt that's where we're going.
Section 8 is a first-person shooter that we are looking to break a lot of the molds with. We don't look at ourselves like, oh, well, we want to be a Crisis killer. Why? That's a beautiful looking game. We don't want to be a Halo killer. Why? It's beautiful. What we want to do is make Section 8 our universe. And when you enter, you love it. You don't want to leave.
This is going to be a multiplayer FPS like none other out there. The experience is never the same. Each battle that you play is different compared to the last one that you did. And that's largely due to making it a very player-driven experience by giving the player the option to control how the flow of battle is going to be, whether it be the objectives that he chooses or the sorts of strategic assets that he brings to the battlefield. You know, I think competitive players will also appreciate the fact that their tactics and their strategies will have to constantly evolve to new and shifting strategies that are being introduced to them. We're trying to make a game where the predictability of other FPS games is thrown out the window.
We're all cynical gamers, you know, at our heart. So when you see something new come along touting how great it is, it's very tough to believe it without getting your hands on it. All that I can ask is, you know, when the demo comes out, grab it, play it. I promise you won't be disappointed. You're going to see some stuff that you have not seen before, and you're going to appreciate why it's there. We're not just coming up with box features. We're coming up with something that's new and that's innovative and is here to stay.
I can't wait. It's going to be freaking bad, man. We haven't even thrown in the curveballs yet, you know?
Section 8 is a large-scale sci-fi first-person shooter. It's taking place hundreds of years in the future where this military unit, the 8th Armored Infantry, is basically at war with this competing faction. And we have Section 8 kind of gets the origins of its name from a U.S. military discharge for soldiers that are considered mentally unstable or unfit for combat. And our soldiers in Section 8, they're donning these large powered armor suits. They're dropping in from 15,000 feet onto the battlefield, behind enemy lines. They're the spearhead of Earth's assault. And everybody else in the military looks at these guys like, you would volunteer for this? You'd have to be crazy in order to do that. So they branded them, you know, with the nickname Section 8. So as far as the conflict that's brewing in Section 8, we have two factions that are going at war against each other, two human factions. And Earth is basically sending in the 8th Armored Infantry to this isolated hotspot that's happening amongst its frontier colonies. Story-wise, Section 8 is somewhat analogous to some of the conflicts that are going on right now in the real world. Think Iraq, think Afghanistan, where we have these isolated regions where this hotspot is happening, and a very elite unit of military infantry are being sent in order to quell the threat that's emerging over there. As far as, you know, what some people have already seen in trailers that we've publicly released, you know, our basic spawn mechanism for getting the player into the game is through what we call burn-in spawning. This is giving the player the opportunity to drop into the game from 15,000 feet. And this isn't just some pre-rendered cinematic that always plays whenever you die and you hit the spawn button. The player is actually controlling and choosing where on the battlefield that he wants to land and controlling himself all the way down to, you know, when he hits the ground. You know, in short, with Section 8, we're looking to make a very unique and player-driven experience, more so than any other FPS game that's currently out there on the market or expected to be out on the market anytime soon. We're all about giving the player the means to which he can control his fate and make an impact on the battlefield, and not just a superficial one that's meaningful, one that actually results and has tangible gameplay benefits and consequences. Well, Section 8 is still a year and a half out from release. It's going to be coming out in late 2009 on PC and next-gen consoles.
Product not yet rated.